Have you ever been scrolling through any type of social media and stumbled upon pictures and videos of how we are harming our environment? Most likely, plenty of times. Unfortunately, the majority of people posting things like this don't tend to take action to it, but this can change. Although we don't tend to think much about cars and how they are a major source of pollution, they are. Electric cars are much better for the environment and can save us from an immense amount of pollution to the earth. Gasoline-powered cars emit more greenhouse gases than electric-powered cars, causing more pollution to our environment. Everyone can agree that we are striving to make our world a better place, but it is hard to do so if we're the only ones that are continuously polluting it. It is important to realize that such little things, such as buying electric cars rather than gas-powered ones, can improve our environment drastically. I've had much experience and knowledge about electric cars ever since my dad had bought one. All of his life, he's had gas-powered cars, but became extremely intrigued in electric cars when they became more popular. Before buying his car, he did a lot of research and concluded that electric cars can help the environment a significant amount, unlike any other car. Throughout this speech, I will be explaining the few reasons why electric cars are much more beneficial to our environment as a whole. To begin, the majority of electric cars that are produced are much more affordable than regular gas-powered cars are. So when owning an electric car, electric cars can be more affordable and convenient than gas-powered cars. And when owning an electric car, you don't have to pay for gas whatsoever. So I personally travel a lot most of the times, so I'm always having to constantly fill up my gas tank, so that's always a lot of money that I have to spend, and that's where the majority of my money goes to. So think about this. You recently decided to buy a gas-powered car, which you still have to pay a good amount of money for. After buying it and always driving it, you will most likely have to get gas every couple of days. According to Daily Fuel Economy Tip, 20% of people spend over $300 a month to fill up their cars, and that's $3,600 a year on gas. So getting gas can also be extremely inconvenient at times. So normally your local gas station isn't across the street from your house or anything like that. You do have to make a trip to that place to get to the gas station just to fill up your car. And although electric cars do not have gas, it's almost as if you own a gas station in your house, but you don't have to pay. So to explain this, electric cars, you have a big box and you install it into your garage where your car is. So it's basically like a charger, like a phone charger. You just plug it into your car, and that's where, like the electric cars, that's how they get powered and their type of gas, basically. So as we just discussed how electric cars are more convenient traveling-wise and more affordable, I will now explain how electric cars can save the environment with a lack of greenhouse gases being emitted. So electric cars can save us from polluting the air. With electric cars not requiring gasoline, they can help us from polluting as much into the air. They are much more efficient when it comes to pollution because electric cars, that's repetitive, they do not cause as much pollution to our environment. Fleet Karma explains, since electric cars have zero tailpipe emissions, we can look forward to cleaner air when there are more electric cars on the road. The energy that electric cars use is extremely efficient compared to gasoline-powered cars. So according to chip-driven electric cars use half as much fossil fuel when being supplied by fossil fuel burning plants, and the less energy that is used in these cars causes pollution to increase an immense amount. So as we were just discussing how electric cars can have the ability to pollute less than regular cars do, I'll now be discussing the privileges of owning an electric car. So there are many features and advantages when getting an electric car, mainly a lot more than regular cars do for the most part. So the first one is basically just store-wise. So many stores and large venues tend to have parking spots right in front of the store for electric cars, where you could always just plug in your car and charge it while you're in the store or just running errands. And we also all struggle to find a good parking spot every once in a while, so that's also extremely beneficial. And many packages also come with an electric car. So the most well-known electric car brand that we know is most likely going to be Tesla. So with Tesla, they have, it drives itself. Basically, it's a self-driving car, it's autopilot, and normally we do have cruise control, but this autopilot means you don't even have to step foot on the gas or brakes. It just drives for you, it can switch lanes, can do all that fun stuff. And also, when it comes to long distance driving, you tend to get tired at the wheel sometimes, which isn't necessarily the best thing. But with these packages that most electric cars do have, it makes it a lot easier to drive and a lot less stressful on the driver. And all these advantages that an electric car can give you can be useful to everyone, which is extremely important. In conclusion, electric cars are much more beneficial in many different ways that I discussed and more. Electric cars have many advantages for personal use and for environmental purposes. I previously discussed how electric cars can be more affordable, more beneficial to the environment, and has many features and advantages that anyone can use, and it's helpful to anyone. And the next time you are browsing through all social media platforms and come across ways to help the environment, think about the pollution that gasoline-powered cars do add to our earth. And now think about how owning an electric car can be beneficial in your everyday life as well. I believe electric cars are the future of transportation, and you could become part of it now.